Hello. Welcome to The Healing Artist. I'm your host, Frida. Friends, I wanted to tell you about starting a business in a 9 year. So 2025 is in numerology is a year of nine. It is all about endings. And I started my business in a year of endings. It's actually perfect for me though, because I really wanted to explore what is it that I enjoy doing. So I spent the first part of my career life working in the event planning industry. I did that for 15 years, 9 months. I worked for my sister's very high-end children's event planning company, and I did the artwork and set design style stuff for that business. And there was a period of time during that doing that business that it was exactly what I needed. I was exactly in the right place. It was perfect. And then it got a little uncomfortable. I spent about 5 years doing it where it probably wasn't the best choice for me. Um, in everything I've learned about our bodies and working and all of that, and like reading our bodies and signals from our bodies, I was pushing through a lot of exhaustion where that was showing me obviously how it wasn't in alignment, but I didn't know how to stop. So then the pandemic comes along, and that business, the way that it had been and everything that was involved in it and all of that, came to a close and it ended. Um, and at that point, I think that my sister had the business for at least 20, 25 years. I can't remember, I think. And you know, it was number one, like in the San Francisco Bay Area. She created this from the ground up. Unbelievable, incredible. We worked for lots of millionaires. At this point, many of them have become billionaires. It's funny because when I worked for her, there was only two billionaires, but now a lot of them have become billionaires. That's just the way money accumulates, right? So at the time, though, I guess I should say millionaires. Um, where was I? Okay, and then I went from that. I did some gig work for a florist for 3 years doing wedding flowers, which, that's still the event planning industry. And from there, in the healing work that I've done on myself, I did not feel okay. And knew that I needed to get okay. And going from working so much that I couldn't hear myself and being really codependently enmeshed with both my family, my sister, my husband, like all of this different stuff, to learning to feel like what I felt like on my own, and then deconditioning away from all of that worth and value style stuff with money I was making and all of that, and like really coming to feel, what does Frida feel like? What does she feel like without all of this external sources and running around in a car and driving and just really honestly working a lot. So coming to sit within the seat of myself and get really quiet. And in doing so, over the course of these years of healing here, which really genuinely began when I had the ability to sit my butt down, so the pandemic, so 2020. And within that time, my husband and I kind of figured out how I could just, for the most part, do this healing work and work on myself, because it had gotten to the point where I really wasn't okay. Like I was maxed out and stretched so thin that I didn't really want to be here anymore. It's like that kind of, ooh, too much, too much. And with the major spiritual awakening that happened and the learning to connect with myself, a lot of stuff fell away in order for me to hear myself. That's something I think a lot of people are going through right now, this waking up process. And a lot of people were going through it again back in 2020. We're having another surge here. And I through this process of really deeply going within and every day working through the deconditioning process, the working through all of the trapped emotions, the working through the pain. I did a lot of surrender release process with walking meditation, working with energy healers when I had some money and I could afford to. And just, I remember dove in and I've read over 250 spiritual texts. I went deep into my own healing and I wanted to find inner peace because I didn't feel okay. I wasn't okay on the inside. And then I found it. And I can't remember exactly when I found inner peace because time, I change and then I can't remember what I was like. But I found it. And it was a solid 4 or 5 years into the process, I realized I had inner peace. I'd found it. Now what? Then I came to feel safe and secure in my own body, safety in my own physical form. So, really, finally becoming embodied in such a way that I was staying in my body. And that took years. And then I found that one, which is really, really cool. And in this process of all of these different things, doing all of this parts work, because I had a lot of broken away pieces from my childhood trauma and then trauma that happened in my 20s. And then, honestly, trauma that I inflicted upon myself by not tuning into myself and dishonoring my own nervous system in the work that I was doing. I had pieces of myself split apart because I was pushing myself through uh, things that I didn't agree with. And I had to, pieces of myself were like, peace out, sister, because I ain't sticking around for this. I don't believe in it. So I've returned to these pieces. I've done all like 2 years it took me. I did reparenting therapy and parts work on myself. I did so much personal therapy. Oh my God, I can't even. And this is all I did. This is all I do. Every day, I would either sit in my Akashic records or I'm always doing walking meditation. I'm sitting in meditation. I'm working with healers when I can, reading these books, going, taking everything back and always working through my stuff. Always, always, always willingness to look and reflect upon and take it within and take responsibility, always cleaning up my side of the street. Always. It activated me in such a way that I had my spiritual gifts blow open. So, clearing and clearing and clearing my channel through trauma healing opened up clairaudience for me. I can hear from consciousness, from source, angels, my higher self, guidance. I hear. Sometimes it sounds like a literal voice. Often I will just allow spirit to speak through my mouth. That is how the clairaudience comes on. I can hear it and I translate. I also have clairsentience, so just that, and claircognizance, the knowing and the feeling in my body. And I've had the smell one too. The smell one has come on. Um, Not a lot. It's very rare, but it has happened. So through the trauma healing, the spiritual gifts came online. So I am pretty convinced that everyone has access to the multisensory world. I'm convinced that everyone has the ability to access their higher self, to talk to the universe, to be in contact with God. What I believe that this is possible if you want it and through dedication, determination, and practice. And because I believe that, because I was able to do it, I had a teacher that I work with for about 5 years, and she's a spiritual entrepreneur, and she helps people begin a business. Um, and I think that people that are called to work in the world of energy as healers and stuff, this is our life path. Like we came here to do these things. I have come to believe from the work that I've done and what I've been told and what I've felt in meditations. And she helped me put together a spiritual business to go out into the world. And I have spent this last year, my 9 year, beginning a business and learning how to feel into what even is this. So I told myself, let me try everything. So I ran two retreats. One was a walking meditation retreat, and the other was an in person full moon women's circle. And I wanted to run the retreats because I have a background in event planning. I thought, would that be fun? Yes, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed those, and I think that might be an aspect of what I do, but it certainly isn't the full enchilada. It's not the whole thing. It's not just that. But those are good skills to have, and that kind of stuff is easy for me. I enjoy throwing parties. I enjoy running these things, but the juice wasn't necessarily worth the squeeze. I think that they would have to cost a lot more to make something like that worth it because so much goes into it. And at the time when I was running them, I was not yet in the place of charging and even having somebody to come, honestly. Um, it just it wasn't there yet. So I tried those. Great. And I love running spiritual craft projects. We're doing the crafts and stuff. I love that stuff. But and it's really close to what I used to do. But it isn't the thing. You know when you find the thing and you're like, ah, the thing. This is it. I love this. I love it. I could just do this all day. I could get lost in it, blah, blah, blah. But it's a good skill to have. So I tried the retreats and I've tried the full moon women's circle. And it's interesting because the full moon women's circle, it's just a pretext. The full moon is just a reason. People know what the full moon is. A lot of people have the intention on the full moon to do a releasing ceremony, so the energy is amplified. But the moon has told me multiple times it's just willing to work with us at any time. The moon is open to working with us at any time. So just saying full moon women's circle, it's just a reason for the season. It doesn't have to literally be the full moon. Um, but I've enjoyed that. And it's a really easy price point to check out. Like, hey, do you want to come hang out with me and meet me? It's interesting because slowly but surely, I've found a few people that like to come to that repeatedly. Great. Love that. I enjoy doing it. It's no skin off my teeth. It's always fun. I intend to continue with the Full Moon Women's Circle in 2026, I believe at this point, because why not? It's just sort of a nice thing to do. I You're the first ones to hear this. I think I'm going to sell a ticket to come to all of them so that you just have access to the entire year. So if that's something you want to give yourself for Christmas, rock on. I'm going to get that up on my website shortly. And it gives you a purpose for the year. It's connecting to your spirituality at least once a month. That's a gift that you could give to yourself, a releasing ceremony. And you don't have to come to the actual circles. You can receive the recording and it's just as good. Energy is energy. I personally love attending classes in person. I don't usually do recordings. That doesn't resonate with me. But if you are not in the same time zone, if you can't make it to them, if the energy is there to attend with the recording. Other things I've tried in this last year is I published a book. I wrote and illustrated a book called Learning to Love Myself that came out in maybe I think February or March of 2025. And I really enjoyed that. I think that I have more books in my future, and but that's not the whole enchilada either. That's not the whole thing, but a piece of it. I enjoy writing and I enjoy illustrating and I enjoy working in this format of books that are for adults, but they are presented as children's books. I'm into that because that is definitely mm, that is what appeals to me. Who knows? I might write a chapter book in the future, but we'll see. I can't sense that one right now. So, I tried writing a book. Cool. If you're interested in my books, every podcast has a link to my books in the show notes. So, any of them you can always go back and check. Learning to Love Myself is available on Amazon, an awful platform, but yet here we are. It is the most affordable and most affordable, cost effective. They really have a corner on the market when it comes to self publishing. When you order that book, Learning to Love Myself, I believe it is like 15.99 or 14.99. I make $3 off of that. So that tells you everything you need to know about that. Um, or you can reach out to me and my website, and I can also sign one and send it to you. I have some in my possession that I can pass on. What else? I have been doing my morning meditation community called Return to Self Love. That meets Monday through Friday from 7 to 7:30 a.m. Pacific time. And I have loved that. It has been a journey, but there's also something here. I have created this entire online community, and I used the Member Up platform because it is what I was familiar with, because it was what my teacher that taught me about starting a spiritual business, it's what she used. I kind of just, in order to take the leap off the side of the mountain to start, I just mirrored what she was doing because I didn't know any better, and it's a good starting place. Sometimes you just have to leap. And I leapt. And that's what I kind of wanted to talk to you about because it's a year of endings. So, the Member Up platform, it took me 3 months to learn it. It costs not an insignificant amount of money. And I worked really hard on it. And through that platform, I did receive assistance through a company that helped me form an LLC. It did serve and was exactly what I needed at the time. However, I do not appreciate the platform. I think it's hard to use, and it is primarily a private social media site. I wanted a place where people could come to find the videos and be able to rewatch them at any time. Well, there's over 280 videos in there right now. Each one is labeled and each one has text to go with it, but quite frankly, it was too much for the students to be able to easily go back and use because there's so much content. So that's interesting. You know, I use this membership community, and God bless every student that came through it, to really learn and grow as a teacher. I have used this podcast to learn and grow as a public speaker. These are things I had no prior experience with. I have learned all of this year, everything. And the way that I'm running Return to Self-Love, it has become abundantly clear to me, very clear, that it is no longer going to. I'm not renewing with Member Up, and everything that I'm created is going to go away. It disappears at the beginning of December. So interesting because I spent all year making this thing and I'm very proud of it. I'm actually going to, I'm recording today via Zoom in order for me to share my computer screen because I want to show it to you. I want to show you what I made because it's quite frankly a fucking triumph. I built this thing. Me. I did it. And I am not tech savvy. I edited videos and I've learned all of this year. Like the amount of behind the scenes knowledge and like what I have taught myself to do is extraordinary. And I have had help and support along the way because my husband is supporting me. My sister is supporting me. She has helped this business by being a contributor financially to me in a way that, thank you, Sophie. I could not be doing what I'm doing without her help. I had help to be able to take this year and do everything I'm doing and take some of that pressure off of needing to make money. Because when I tell you, your first year of business and learning all these things, setting everything up, getting it going, all of that is already stressful. And you're just sort of like keep investing back into to get all of this kind of thing started. I think there's a false feeling on the internet of like going viral or something like this takes off really quickly. Oh, I have all these clients, blah, blah. And I got to tell you, that has not been my experience. My experience in my first year here is just learning. It's all just learning and learning how to let go and let God, learning how to like trust my intuition, learning how to be checking in with my guidance, learning to talk to my business. What does my business want? How does it want to show up? What does it want? Because it is its own entity. We are working together. It's a combined deal, but it's its own thing. Everything has consciousness. Everything has something to say. It's a whole other conversation. But learning to listen. And something my guidance, my business, all of this stuff, what it keeps saying to me is it gets to be easier. It gets to be easier. So going back to all the things I've done this year, because I'm just tooting my own horn. This is coming out in my birthday week. It's going to be my birthday. And I'm tooting my own horn from everything I did this year because I'm proud of myself. I got a little notice from Instagram. I made over 300 Instagram reels. I have hardly any followers on Instagram. I make those things. I kind of think of them. My father watches them. My father and my mother love my Instagram reels. And honestly, I use that as a way to just say hello to them, to send love to my parents, to be honest. Because And it's another way of me showing up in the moment. I show up on Instagram running my mouth, channeling often, or just showing you what's going on in nature, the frequency of nature. I bring that forward. And I'm always doing it without makeup. It's very rare that I have my face made up. And it has taken, it's practice in just being able to show up exactly as I am in my human form in my 40s doing my thing. Has taken practice to just get totally chill and neutral, looking at myself, hearing my voice, all of that kind of stuff has been part of the practice of the year. Before 2025, I always hid behind someone else. I was always a background character. It wasn't until like September, October, maybe no, it wasn't until like the late 2024 that I even stepped into being the main character of my own life. I was always sort of just a supporting role. I didn't realize this was my show. That might sound silly to you, but that is true. Um, So realizing that I am the star of my own show, this is my life. I get to make my life exactly what I want it. How cool. That is an invitation. If that is a new idea to you, especially my codependent people pleasers out there, my mothers, if you're a mother, that idea that we're here for everyone else, we're the backbone, the set of eyes, the support system. This idea that we get to actually follow our own dreams and our own bliss. Like, whoa. So starting a business in a 9 year has been really interesting. Because what I've learned and what I've created is not going to, none of it is going to continue the way I've done it this last year. Like, I'm not, but I feel like I've done all of this stuff in order to now decide what are we doing in 2026. Another thing that I tried is the podcast, right? So I mentioned that earlier, but learning how to public speak, that was one of the main reasons that I wanted to have this. It's like learning to become a teacher and learning that in front of your very ears or eyes. Anyway, I'm extremely proud of myself. Like, holy cazoli. I believe in discipline, dedication, practice. I believe in those things. And I am a poster girl for blowing open your spiritual gifts and learning how to do stuff when you show up for yourself, when you do the work. Um, but it's not easy. I think people think that you just like get in a car accident or something and then you just wake up and you're psychic because that's the way it is on TV. Or you get an NDE and you wake up and like all of this stuff is now available to you. Or you're born this way with the veil thin and you can just easily see. I don't think that that is true for the majority of people. Everybody has ability to have access to this stuff, especially access to their higher self and their own personal guidance if they are willing to learn. And that first step of learning is like deconditioning away from all the programming that you come to Earth and then you learn all of this program and it gets piled on top of you. And you have to peel all of that off in order to actually hear what's going on with your higher self, your guidance, and your spirit team. And sometimes when people just have access to the multisensory world and it's all popping off for them, but they're not doing their inner work to clear their channel and to clear the programming, deconditioning, and all the different stuff, to clear that out of the way, that's when you get these wackadoo, ego-driven teachers that end up abusing people or end up being like codependently enmeshed with your clients or, you know, end up guiding people and you think it's coming from some sort of spiritual realm, but like actually you're guiding, you are gifted, but you're guiding from ego. That can happen, man. It takes a lot of work to decondition away from all of that stuff to become a clear channel. And something I was unwilling to start a spiritual business until I had gotten to the point where I felt ready to jump because I didn't think my stuff would get in the way. And in this last year of teaching, I've had some situations, I confront them immediately, but I've definitely had a situation with a really close friend that was part of my community and then left that brought up sister wound stuff. It brought up codependent enmeshment stuff, like still stuff for me to then go and work through and deal with. And like having your own business brings this stuff up and you get to confront it. It's pretty awesome. It's not fun, but it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool, especially in retrospect when you move through the lesson and it's over. It's just like, yeah, dusting off the shoulders. All right. So if you're watching me on YouTube, I want to show you the inside of my platform that I made, Return to Self-Love. I want to show you this because it's private, it's behind a paywall, it's all of this stuff. I can't show you any other way. And it's leaving. It's a 9 year, it's going away. It's going away pretty soon. I want to show it to you. And part of that is selfishly to have a record of it for myself. So, this is what we're going to do. I'm going to share my screen. So, I wanted to show this content library to you. Each one of these things have 20, 25 videos in it, meditations, and I can just I'm just so proud of this. I am so proud of it. So on the left here, you can see all of these different ones, or that each one is a morning 30-minute meditation. Look at all these different things we covered. Like, oh my gosh. I look at this and I just, I loved making the artwork. You can see each one has different, in the morning, it would tell you the day of the week, it would tell you the date. It has this different, this is the theme, all aboard October. I, it's hard to get rid of this. So let me tell you, we have our whole energy basics. That's the how to do everything. And I might migrate these videos eventually to YouTube or something. Um, And then we had energetic boot camp. That was my first week of grounding meditations. And then March Meditation Madness. That's when I was choosing to teach every day. I thought, am I going to be able to do this every day? And I was. And then I did it every day for the rest of the year. I don't even know. It's just, it's my personality. Then we have April alignment. May miracles. We had a chakra week. That was really fun. I intend to put these out for folks with music behind them. My husband was going to write, he wrote music for the each chakra in the key of the chakra. And then, but I haven't done that yet. You're reminding me to do that. So then we have Joyful June. We have Just Jump In July. That was all about just taking that whitewater raft and shooting it down the river, buckling up and getting going. Awake August, Self Love September, All Aboard October, and Neutral November. Yeah. And just each one of these has 24, 25 videos in it. It's amazing. It's amazing. Look, I made different pictures for the different weeks. They had different week pictures in them. Yeah, we're done. This is done. It's really interesting saying goodbye. Um, I did save all of these videos. They're on an external hard drive. But yeah, I wanted to say goodbye to Member Up. I wanted to have this saved in this way visually so that I could remember what I made and be proud of myself and simultaneously not hold on to it because it's out of alignment and we're not continuing. So I signed up for Vimeo, and I'm going to use Vimeo for 1 year. When I sit in meditation and guidance, I ask questions and they tell me we will be using Vimeo for 1 year. And there you have it. So I'm just going to continue to save all this stuff on an external hard drive. And where it goes in the future, who knows if it goes anywhere. I think there's like a cool, it's kind of cool to have a record of the teaching along the way because I'm not stopping. I'm going places. I am here as a spiritual teacher in the world, and I am open, honest, vulnerable, and I have been nothing but truthful, my truth to you along the way as we go. And I'm telling you, I am going places. I am going to create community. I am going to work in equity alongside other incredible healers, and we are going to form a new way of doing things. This healing community is a refuge, a quiet in the storm, but it's about holding space and helping people to really feel into their own magnificence and connection to self. It is a new way of being, and it is not, I don't know what it is because it isn't fully formed yet. So, how cool is it to have this record of where I've been, where I'm going, all of the stages along the way? It's like a living diary in this moment because we're going places. This is big. I feel it in my bones. It's just begun. It's only just begun. And I'm so excited to find out what 2026 holds. So here's something interesting. When I sit in my guidance, when I sit with my channel, This November is the last month of return to self-love in its current incarnation. And my guidance doesn't want me to teach in December. They want me to stop, get real quiet, go within, and listen for what is coming in 2026. And my humanness goes, whoa, 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 what? But I trust the prayer, God work through me in a way that delights my mind, body, and spirit. I'm loving the work that I'm doing. There are ways in which the revenue has come in to keep things afloat and in such a way that I can take this break in December. Like, I have been doing dog portraits, like dog and cat portraits, or I've done some birds, so any pet portraits, really. And I've been pushing my pet portraits for November and December because of, the holiday season and giving gifts. And if you want to go on my website and order a pet portrait, there's still time. I'm pretty good at them. I can get them out in like between a week and a month. It depends on like how much has come in and whatnot. We can it's discussed. You know when you're going to get your pet portrait, and I'm very good about time. So focusing on the illustrator aspect, the artist side of myself for a period of time, and taking a step back from the healing business in a way to listen because they keep telling me that it gets to be easier than what I've created. And they also keep telling me that I'm going to do classes, something I have been extremely resistant to because I do not want to write the text and have to sell these things, like sell classes. I have been extremely resistant. Then they tell me that I will magnetize the people towards me to take these things by sitting in and being of the frequency so that it gets to be easier than I think it is. Because my head comes in and I'm like, I don't want to do all of that work. I'm a very spontaneous person. I do not like planning things out ahead of time. And so I am trusting spirit here in a way where they are going to tell me what's coming and I am going to show up for it. And I am included in this. I am not like handing my life over and saying, like, oh, puppet me or whatever. That's not what's happening. I am included in this. I'm having a good time. I'm getting healing along the way. I'm learning a ton. I'm enjoying myself. I'm easily the happiest I've ever been. Easily. I love owning my own business. I love being this small business owner. This is amazing to me. It's amazing. And I have loved this last year, starting a business in a 9 year. Who does that? Me. And I love that it's all changing because I'm great in chaos. I'm great in getting in the river, crossing my arms over my chest, and heading down, feet forward. It's a skill. I'm great at getting out of my own way in my mind. So I want to trust in this and trust that my people are on the way and trust that it's all going to work out. It's all going to work out. Yeah, I can't see the future, but it feels expansive. It feels good. It feels exciting. And I am super here for it. Well, for time, I don't know how long we've been doing this because I'm recording on Zoom and they don't have a little clock, but it feels like a long time. Friends, tomorrow is my birthday from the day that this gets released. I am going to be 45 years old. What? It's so funny. It's so funny. I never thought I'd get to be this old. How cool is that? I didn't know I would be here this long. Every day is a gift. Truly. Every day I wake up, I Thank you. Thank you for this opportunity. Thank you for letting me be here. Yeah, just life is good. Life is good. It's all about the way we see things. We have the opportunity to shift our perspectives into a world where we see the good in all. And if that's a new idea to you, I'm inviting you to explore it because life gets to be beautiful. It is beautiful. And all of life is happening for us. It's happening for us, not to us, for us. So, how can we show up with it with joy, enthusiasm, and curiosity? It's not easy. Life's not easy. It's often a bunch of BS. But meeting that BS with curiosity and then sinking into riding the waves, riding in the river. It's an adventure. All right, friends, I wanted to tell you that I love you. I love you. God, universe, source loves you. You are beloved, beloved. And I hope that you have a wonderful day.